Hi, I'm Rob from SkidSteerSolutions.com, here to show you how to install one of our Eterra wiper kits. We developed these kits specifically for skid steer cabs, mostly acrylic cabs, but we've also found that people have been using them in other applications such as ATVs. So this is just a quick introduction on how to install it. You'll just need a few tools. Use a Phillips screwdriver, a crescent wrench, measuring tape, and it's very important that you use this style of drill bit. Do not use a steel cutting bit. Use a 5/8 paddle bit that you would use on wood, and either a 3/8 or a 1/4 inch to drill the small hole here. And just a few minutes of time just to lay this out properly, and you will have yourself a really cool wiper on your skid steer. The Eterra wiper kit comes with 3 packages. One is the main motor with all the hardware you're going to need to install it. In fact, there's actually extra hardware on this that you're not going to use when you install it on a skid steer, so we'll show you that later, what you're going to remove. There's a 14-inch wiper, and there's an adjustable arm. Okay, the wiper and the arm are a standard automotive style, so it just uses a clip, and all you do is slide it in like this and snap it in place, and it's installed. When you want to remove it, you just push the little button here, slide the arm forward, and it comes off. The arm adjustment, once you have it installed and you want to adjust the height of the arm, all we do is just pop this off here. There's a little clip on the back. You can slide the arm in and out as long as we need it to go. And then we can adjust right here with a couple of Allen wrenches. We can adjust the actual angle of the wiper as well. Okay, once the motor is installed on the windshield, then what you'll do is you'll put this cap on. This is just for show. Then you'll take the arm, you'll put it on, and you're going to line it up on the windshield, and you're going to use this little nut here to tighten it down and lock it into place. Once that's all locked into place, there's a cover here that snaps on over top of this. And again, this is just for cosmetic reasons, and that's what covers up the hardware. When installing this on a skid steer, we're going to take off some of this hardware that we're not going to need, just because the adjustments are a little bit different. So this is a top cap that's going to hold the wiper arm on. You're going to need that. You're going to need one of these nuts. You're going to need the cap, and this washer, and this fiber washer. But you're going to remove this extra nut, and you're not going to put it on the back. You're going to leave it the way it is. Then you put this washer back on with the fiber washer, and this is what's going to go up against your windshield. Then once you've installed it, you'll slide this one over top on the outside of the windshield. You'll put this nut back on again, and you'll snug it down. You don't want to go too tight, but you want to have it fairly snug so it doesn't move around. Once it's installed, then you will actually use this nut as a locking nut. So you'll put this down, and that'll lock the other nut on so it's not going to come loose. Okay, so I've got this laid out already on this windshield. What we did is we measured up from the bottom. We figured out exactly where we wanted to have the maximum clearance here, and then we drilled a hole in the center, allowing also to put the little side mount hole. What this hole does is it keeps the motor from turning. So what we do is we lay out the center hole, drill it, put the motor in place, and then just level the motor on the back, mark it, and then drill it. You don't want to use this style of drill bit. This is a metal cutting bit. What'll happen is that it'll start to bite, and it'll act like a wedge, and it'll crack your windshield instantly. Do not use these bits. What you want to use is a wood style bit. This is the most common bit to use for this type of material. It takes off a small amount of material at a time, won't crack your windshield. In this case, what we used to drill the hole is we used a 5/8 inch wood bit, and preferably you want to use a 1/4 inch, but a lot of times you can't get a 1/4 inch, so 3/8 would be the maximum size you want to use for this. We give you a nice rubber coated washer to cover it up, so if you're a little bit oversized, it's okay on this hole. Once the motor's installed, this is what it looks like on the back of your cab. There's a power switch here, so it can all be handled right from the back of the machine facing you, and comes with a wiring set here with a built-in fuse and a couple of spade lugs. Now you can install this inside the cab, either up inside the control board, or take it to the back of the cigarette lighter, or you can, it's long enough, you should be able to take it back to one of the battery connections. Okay, so we measured the size of this windshield, and we determined that what we could do is use the entire length of the wiper which is 28 inches. So from this hole center here to the outer bit of the wiper, it's 28 inches. We have a 24-inch sweep. So we laid it all out and figured out exactly where we would place the wiper so that it would clean exactly where we're looking out the front of our windshield. So from that, we took one of these spade bits, which is a wood bit. Again, don't use a steel bit, use a spade bit for cutting wood. We drilled a 3/4 inch hole. That's the pilot shaft for the motor. And then we laid the motor out, and then we drilled a small hole, and that's just for this for the keeper on the motor. It keeps the motor from twisting. And all we do is we just go through the front here. So the shaft sticks out the front. We take our cap, put that on, put the first retaining nut on. Okay, then we have these little rubberized washers. This is for the retainer. Put the nut on. Okay, and then all we're going to do is tighten this down. And we just want it snug so it's not going to go anywhere. And then on the motor part here, we're going to snug that down. Okay, now it's nice and snug on here. Okay, so now what I want to do is adjust my wiper sweep here. With it just loosely on the shaft, I can kind of lay it out to where I want it to stop. The motor's in a parked position, so every time you turn the power off, it's going to return to a parked position. So that's what it is right now. It's sitting here and parked. So I lay out where I want it to stop. Tighten it down. Okay. And now I run it. Okay, now it's very close here to the edge. It just starts to touch there, so what I can do here, just adjust the blade down a little bit. And that covers my entire area. Now when it's parked, it's right up out of the way. It's not in my field of view. And when I run it, it comes across and completely covers my entire windshield. So right now at the lowest setting, with the arm fully retracted, I have a 19-inch sweep across my windshield. And now I can easily change that just by popping this up again, sliding the arm out. And now I have a 24-inch sweep, pretty much covers the entire windshield, which is ideal for this type of application. Or if you do have other applications where you're trying to use this in something else, maybe an ATV or something, you can adjust both the sweep by changing the height here, and also the angle by changing the head. Now that I have the wiper installed, I'm just going to put this cap on. It just slides over top of the mechanism here and just covers it up and makes it look better.